Please join me in welcoming the father of the fish fry, our former governor, Sonny Perdue.
Well, hello everyone. Mary and I are again delighted to be back here at the Fish Fry, and we appreciate all of you. You know, it's campaign season once again. It seems like it almost never goes away, but each one becomes increasingly more important as you know. The conversation of trying to move this country towards socialism cannot start through the state of Georgia, and that's so important here, and that's why we're all come together. You all have been such faithful supporters all along, and I want to thank you for staying by the stuff. The other side never gives up, neither will we. So I want to thank you all for this. This is a special event for us every August. I want to thank the 8th District for continuing, and thank you all for coming. My primary purpose here today is, as a private citizen with my lovely wife, is to tell you we plan to remain to be citizens of Georgia. We're in a little sabbatical in Northern Virginia right now, but this is home and it will be home. We've got pretty invested in 14 grandchildren in Georgia, and we want it to stay the kind of state that we want to live in and see for the future. And that's why my role here today is to introduce someone who is carrying your message to the United States Senate in a way that I'm extremely proud, not just only as a relative, as a first cousin, but someone who is proud of the job that he's doing. David and Bonnie, as you may know, had a very comfortable life after he had had a great corporate career, retired, and yet his inner spirit compelled him to make the sacrifice, to do what it takes to make this country what it should be. He's done that. It went to the Senate. You all were kind enough to recognize that in 2014, sent him to the Senate, and the things I'm most proud about, he did exactly what he told you he was going to do when he went. That's standing by the principles of smaller government, managing our resources, trying to get our budget situation in control to make sure that we can get a federal government that manages our budget like the state of Georgia does and cut out the deficit. So I want to just tell you that I'm really proud of him. I'm proud to be his cousin, but I'm more proud to have him as a citizen of Georgia, as our junior senator from the state of Georgia, my cousin, my friend, my senator, David Perdue.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, all the best. You know, when Sonny was running, he had two twins. They were gorgeous, and he used to hang them on both arms, and he was running, and it says, twins. Flaunt them if you got them. Well, he brings Mary up here, one of the greatest first ladies in our history. My role right now is to try to give you a federal perspective. And I hope you'll listen to this. This is very, very serious. This is not just another race. It's not just another fall season of elections. We are at war, and we're in a struggle for our republic. There's no question about that. When you look at right now, when Michael Bloomberg can put $15 million against Brian Kemp in this race, you know that the national people are going to put everything they can in here. They've already committed $30 million in this race. Well, I'm here to tell you that Nancy Pelosi and Stacey Abrams are not going to turn Georgia into California. You know, President Trump he's an unorthodox president, right? But the agenda is working. Right now, what he's done in the first year and a half is one of the greatest economic turnarounds in our history. 4 million new jobs have been created. 870 regulations have been reversed. 1,550 people have been fired at the Veterans Administration for not doing their job. Folks, people out here in the real world know what's going on. Consumer confidence is at a 20-year high. Small business confidence is at a 37-year high. We put Neil Gorsuch in the Supreme Court. We're about to put Brett Kavanaugh in the Supreme Court. This president's agenda is working. But the wave that elected President Trump didn't start in 2016, folks. It started right here in Houston County. It started in Georgia in 2002 when Sonny and Mary decided that God had put on them to run for governor. Now, the sitting governor at that time had $23 million in his account. I think Sonny raised about $3 million. Nobody knew who Sonny Perdue was. With your help, Sonny Perdue won and became the first Republican governor in 135 years. And he's never let me forget it. Sonny did a great job, and he set the tone for the next administration. So we've now had 16 years of focus on our economy here in Georgia, and today Georgia is the best place in the country in which to do business. That's not an accident. But it all started in 2002. Right now, we are in a war because there are a lot of Democrats who have gone to the extreme, and they believe that they can come in here and steal this race. But folks, there is no way that's going to happen with your help. We know how to combat this. I want to tell you that right now, we have a slate of candidates that we have got to elect. Tricia Pridemore, Chuck Easton, Richard Woods, Jim Beck, Mark Butler, Gary Black, Brad Raffensperger, Chris Carr, Jeff Duncan, who is here today, and Brian Kemp. Folks, we have got to get these folks elected. We have been in a struggle for 100 years in a slow slide towards socialism. And now don't let them change the words on us. They're now talking about revised capitalism and all that. But make very clear, Stacey Abrams wants to take Georgia into a socialistic state like California, and it's not going to happen. What we have an opportunity to do right now is to make sure that the road to socialism does not go through the state of Georgia. And the way to do that is to elect this slate. Now, we have a nominee for governor that is a very unusual man. He's a family man. He's a businessman. And folks, even though he was Secretary of State, he is indeed an outsider to the corruption and cronyism that can creep into state government. And he knows how to combat that. My high honor today is to introduce to you the next governor of the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp. Oh, no Brian? That's later? What are we going to do? My bad, sorry. Just practicing. Do it that well later. My bad. We have a little different run of show. We have some entertainment for you today, and I'm going to let them introduce that in just a minute. But let me say one thing in closing. I am so proud to have been born and raised in Houston County because of you folks. In 2014, we created a miracle here. In 2002, we did the same thing. We have an opportunity to do the same thing right now in this election. I can't tell you how serious this is and how critical it is. We have got to get this vote out. We've got to make sure we use all of our connections. We've got to get on the phone. We've got to get this vote out. God bless you guys for being so good to the party, so good to us. God bless Georgia, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.